Hello, witches. Happy almost New Year. I haven't made any videos in kind of a while, so I thought I would show you guys a few of the books that I got for Christmas. They are very witchy. This one is The Evil Eye, The Classic Account of an Ancient Superstition by Frederick Thomas L. Worthy. And it's a pretty thick read. Let's see if I can tell you guys how many pages it is. It's about 450 pages, so this is a good book. I hate when I get books and it takes me like an hour or two to read through it. But these are pretty decent books. This one is called The Evil Eye, a case book edited by Alan Dundes. It doesn't say written by, though, so I don't know if this was found and translated or exactly. I haven't read it yet, and there's a lot of, what do you call those, footnotes and stuff, like a ton. So it's going to be one of those reads that probably takes me a while, because I actually do read all the footnotes and the references and stuff like that, because I actually when I'm buying books or studying a particular topic, I like to get ideas on what else to read, so I read a lot of what they reference in the books if I like it. So, yeah, so I'm going to be reading these pretty soon. And, yeah, I've been kind of, just really busy with, like, holiday stuff and everything. But, today I took down most of the Christmas decorations. I got up early for a change, like, really super early, and, made Belgian waffles and, baked a banana, not a banana cake, but like a banana cake, but I made muffins out of it. And I'm excited. Tomorrow I get to start using my moon calendar finally. I had to pre-order it, so I've been waiting like months and months to actually be able to use it. So I'm really excited to finally get to hang it up and look at it every day. I think I'm going to put it in the kitchen. So I've been still making kombucha. I finally am like getting the hang of it. The only thing is, if any of you guys make it and can give me a suggestion, I like it really fizzy, like the ones in the grocery store, but those are $3.99 for like a small little bottle. And, you know, if I drink one or two a day, then that's kind of an expensive habit. So that's why I started making it myself. But I never can get it as fizzy as the ones in the grocery store. I don't know how they get it that fizzy, but I really love the fizz. It kind of makes me understand why men like beer, because it's similar to that fizzy, like, I love it. I love bubbles and I love ice. So but I'm getting a hang of that. My mother, the SCOBY, has grown nice and thick and very productive. So it's really kind of running smoothly. And I'm making, I have 2 large gallon jugs that I have going at all times. I think I'm going to do a third one as well, because I only get like, out of all of those, I don't get that much. It doesn't seem, for how much it seems like I'm making. I don't know. When I put them in the bottles, it just doesn't seem like it's gallons and gallons of liquid. I don't know if I'm wasting some or what I'm doing. I do spill it when I'm trying to put it in the bottles. But it does really help with my digestion, I've noticed, and my absorbing vitamins. That's what really got me into drinking it. I started looking into probiotics because I have a severe deficiency. It started out as a D deficiency a couple years back, and it got really bad. And now it's I'm severely anemic, which I've been anemic off and on throughout my life, and it wasn't a big deal. But apparently, because my D and B12 are also very low, and it's been happening consistently over the last couple years, they said that I'm going to become anemic and like need blood transfusions apparently and all that. So if I don't really find out a way to start getting vitamins absorbed, I'm going to be like really in trouble. And recently in the last, I thought I had like mono or something because I was so tired, and come to find out that it was the iron deficiency, and it just had gotten really bad. And all of a sudden, seeing myself in the mirror, getting in the shower, I'm like covered with bruises. I mean, like scary bruises. My daughter had me convinced I had leukemia or something really horrific, but apparently it's just really severe iron deficiency. So I guess, the kombucha helps to break down the food better, and so you can actually absorb the nutrients from the food. And the more I read about probiotics and kombucha and learned how to, how it works, and it breaks down the foods in a way that allows you to better get the nutrition. And that was how things like root beer and ginger beer were invented. It wasn't intended to be like a soda, just like a sugary drink. It was actually a health drink that gave you the special whatever plant you were using, whether it whatever kind of root, dandelion root. You can make it out of almost any kind of herb that you would use in a tincture or a tea. And so certain ones that have whatever vitamin you're looking to get, when you ferment it like that, it helps you to absorb the vitamins better. And so I'm getting the hang of it, except for the bubbles. So if any of you guys have suggestions on how I can better get bubbles, I've heard different people said it's the type of bottles sometimes. So I switched from reusing the old bottles that I had bought at the grocery store, and now I'm using the mason jars. So I don't know, we'll see. And for Christmas, I also got my little spirit animal, the skunk. I love this guy. I want to put him, I think I'm going to wear him on a necklace. I know that's kind of weird, but I think that's what I'm going to do with him. I love skunks. I got bit by a skunk a few years ago. Some of you who followed me for a long time might remember that. So lately I have been studying, I had never really been into the Egyptian pantheon, and I finally have gotten really interested in the ancient mystery schools. I've been studying like ancient Babylon, ancient Sumerian, and ancient Egyptian type stuff. And I'm really noticing a new trend with archaeology, and kind of like the different sciences are kind of starting to work together better. Archaeologists are now working with people who know more about art or language, and they're all kind of getting together to rethink what we previously thought about these ancient civilizations, because there's a lot of stuff now that they can read a lot of the ancient text and the stuff on the walls. It gives them a lot more information, and some of the really old artifacts show some things that previously had been thought to be, just fiction or myth or whatever. And they're really starting to rethink the previous thought about history in general, like the human history, how people evolved into civilizations. And some of what they used to think was just, stories or myth, they're starting to incorporate the spiritual or the mythical, the things that were kind of considered non-academic or folklore and stuff like that, that the people, the indigenous people, who, these high educated people, who came in the end of the 1800s or the early 1900s, they really didn't interact too much with the natives. They just came in, dug stuff out, found stuff, and tried to figure it out. But now that people are actually taking the time to interview and talk to natives and get their story, which they have passed on for thousands of years, their story of how they came to be, where they came from, and who was there before, they're starting to realize that there's a similar story throughout the world and the ancient civilizations that has been passed to the natives. And it includes stuff that indicate, different ideas. Some people think it's more spiritual, like, from a more biblical, like fallen angels, or interdimensional spiritual type beings and stuff like that. Some people think it's ancient. The ancients actually had some kind of contact with star people, like people from like an alien race from another planet or another galaxy, that kind of thing. There's a lot of different ideas on who these people were or what they were, but it seems like throughout the world there is always this story of these people who came and taught them stuff. And so there's a lot of new thinking as far as stuff like that goes when they're reading the ancient religious text and they're reading the historical stuff on the tablets and on the walls, and they're looking at the artwork and the things that were carved out of stone or crystal and the details in it, and they're noticing new things, that the ancient civilizations were not as early caveman type people as they previously thought. They were actually very advanced civilizations. And what I think is really cool that they're starting to discover now that they have the technology to actually look at what's under the earth that they haven't even excavated yet. In the pyramids of Giza, the 3 pyramids that they once thought were just tombs, they have discovered that there's an interconnected tunnel system underneath, that water flows underneath all 3 of the pyramids. And there's also a harmonics system that has something to do with the types of stones that the walls are actually made of on the inside and what they're lined with and stuff like that. And it creates like a vibration where the harmonics of sound combined with the water flowing underneath and combined with probably in the ancient times what they're thinking is that one of them at least, or maybe all 3, were like a type of hospital where you went for healing. Because one of the words, pyramid, that they thought it was something like the word pira was like house. And it was like the house of, they think it might be energy, some kind of energy of the gods. And so if they were able to harness this energy that could heal, it could create, it was like a type of movement and energy force, maybe like electricity or something like that. But it worked somehow with the crystals, the water, and the sound all together. These vibrations would, depending on the ailment of the person, and they've read some texts that talk about some of it, and even pictures they have of like constructed tools that they used. They were way more intricate, in fact, than some of what we have now. I believe it's Klaus Dohn. I think he's a Austrian or German. He's seen a lot of these artifacts and he's done lectures on them. Like the way that the tools of these medical doctor type people in ancient times, the way that the tools fit into the hand, like you could move it and it actually like molded and fit your hand just so perfectly no matter what size your hand was. These tools were like way more advanced and designed to like work with human hands than anything that we have today. And they did things like types of surgeries. They apparently in the really ancient times in India, one of the ways that they would humiliate somebody who had done some kind of a terrible sin is they would remove their nose. So apparently in ancient times, they had already figured out how to do a type of facelift, rhinoplasty type thing where they would cut like a triangle and pull the skin down to actually construct a new nose. And this is like thousands of years ago. So a lot of what they used to think about where man came from and how we advanced is being really disproven. And they're realizing that a lot of the ancient civilizations were really, really advanced. not like what we used to think. So that's what I've been studying, and I might do some more videos if I get some books and I can make like a, you know, a study on a particular topic or whatever. But right now I'm just kind of in general doing all of those ancient civilizations, learning a little bit. But I think I might like to focus on the Egyptian pantheon for a while, because it was something I kind of wasn't interested in for a bunch of years, and I really am getting a new appreciation for it. So a lot of cool stuff to learn when you study those ancient peoples, and you really look at the details in their images and stuff. So I hope you guys had a great holiday, Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And tonight's a new year. I'm not really doing anything, I don't think, but I went to a white elephant party yesterday, which was kind of fun. It's kind of like a Yankee swap, but with stuff from your house. So, hope you like this, and will I say bye.